have a project trio here. I thought maybe just a few words about who you're going to be hearing and working with tonight. Peter Seymour, bass player, fabulous musician. He's the sort of the manager of the trio. The trio is based in Brooklyn, so they're all from Brooklyn, and they did have electricity, which is nice. In 1996, Peter was the winner of the Downbeat Magazine Award for the Best Jazz Soloist. Yeah. Whoa. That was good. That's all right. I used to be good.
In the late 90s, I killed.
The cellist, Eric Stevenson, has been a substitute with the Cleveland Orchestra, performed with a number of other orchestras, and also plays tenor sax. An enormously versatile musician, and we're really thrilled he's here. And last but definitely not least is Greg Patillo. And you all know of Greg, if you haven't met him. New York Times quoted the best person in the world at what he does. And I think it's been well deserved. A couple of YouTube sites of his are really very impressive. I went on the YouTube just before going to pick them up. And one of his YouTube videos, come on in. One of his YouTube videos has had an unbelievable number of viewers. Try this on for size, 27,217,736 and counting. Another one has exceeded 22 million hits. He was acting principal flute of the Guangzhou Symphony Orchestra in China for a while. Speaking in Chinese? How much is in Chinese? So, our stars for the evening, please welcome the Project Trio.
stand in a circle. We're all going to face each other. Make weird noises on our instruments. So, beatboxing, of course, usually subscribes to kind of a hip-hop style, right? And so outside of that, let's circle up. Let's circle up. If we think of these sounds kind of as, instead of beatbox flute, just rhythm flute, then it's a little more multi-genre term. Right? You can really kind of be doing these techniques in any style. And so what we're going to play with right now is how to make our flutes rhythm. I'm sure you guys worked very hard at making your flute sound. So I'm going to reverse that a little bit and make, hopefully it sound a little more percussive. Okay, so has anyone here seen my Beatbox 101 video? Kind of start. Have you seen it? Yeah. You guys got flutes? You guys can come up here too. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Well, I kind of talked about the 3 basic staple sounds you need to be able to be a beatboxing flutist, and a cymbal sound, a backbeat sound, and a bass drum sound. So we are going to learn to do those sounds right now, and we're going to start with the hardest sound because no one ever gets this sound. But when you do, and you learn to do it with the flute, it is the most versatile of the beatbox sounds. And so it's the bass drum kick sound. And it sounds like this. Let's just do about 20 of them. And I'm going to just give you some suggestions about that. Now we're going to do about 60. Think about opening your chest. And back pressure from the diaphragm to the lips. Think about using the back of the lips and not the front of the lips. So not that. But this. Kind of like duck lips, right? Or like pouty lips, right? Pouty. Now, this is what we're going to do, is we're all going to do 4 around the room, okay? And we're just going to see where we stand. So I'm going to start, you're going to be next, okay? And so don't drop the beat, okay? If it doesn't sound cool yet, don't worry about it, okay? We're all beginning. It's just cool, all right? I just want to see where we're at. So, okay, so let's talk about the sound a little, okay? Talk is cheap, but it's worth talking about, okay? You don't have to buzz the lips. It doesn't have to be. It's just one of them. And then the lips and the air is diffuse. It's also not. It's not that. And in one breath, you can do many of these sounds. Also, look at my throat. I open it right before I make a sound, like this much. Watch. See it? You see it, right? I videotaped myself. I know it does. Every time. So what that means is that I'm really opening up my air system. Normally as flute players, we have a lot of air in our mouth. Maybe your teacher talks about like open jaw and air in there. But really I bring air all the way back into my throat, almost like maybe if you've ever seen a saxophone, I'm sure you've seen a bunch of air in there. So it's very similar. Pointers on how to make that sound. You sound pretty good. How do you do it? Yeah, have you practiced it before? For real? It's just coming natural? What else can you add to the discussion?
What can I add?
Yeah. Yeah, I call it like rolling in at the end. That's right. I think of like pouty lips or duck lips. How about you? You sound good? You have like a quiet, low one. I like it. It was very chest voice. That's good.
I don't know.
Are you guys all know each other? You're all part of the same studio?
Yeah.
Okay? Okay? But you recognize some people? Okay, we'll hang out with some people afterwards. Make sure you know everybody. I just kind of wanted to point out some people. Actually, everyone here sounded really good, I thought. And you guys sounded not bad either, but I was really feeling some low bass sounds on this part of the room, and I was impressed. So, as I leave, and you're like, man, I don't know how to do that sound, but I want to know more, you should mingle with your colleagues and find out more about this sound. Now, I'm going to explain how to practice this sound and how to put it onto the flute. And should you choose to practice this, this is something you can learn in a relatively short amount of time, but maybe you won't learn right now. So I'm going to talk about the sound and get it over with and move on to things we can do right now. But let's do this bass drum kick sound and finger an A, okay? And what we're going to do is we're just going to do the bass drum kick sound with the flute near the lips. And do not go into a flute armature. So I don't want you to go, you know, like, it's not what I want. I want it to be just so that you get, and you see I'm not really playing the flute, but, and as a testament to how diffuse my air is after I do the sound, you just get a light, just that light alien tone. Does that make sense? So everyone start without the flute. And then finger an A, and like a slow docking maneuver, just bring it into the airstream. See if you can just make the bass drum sound with the flute out there. And let's not speed up. Yeah, switch to a low E. But keep the beat. So it's like ba-ha, not ba-ta, or ba-ka, or anything like this, but ba and ha, okay? H articulation. Okay, so once we get the hang of this, you can do it on any note. Or not. And you can get pretty fancy, of course, too. We can do this sound, just so you know, with the lips, with the front of the tongue, back of the tongue, with an F, with an H. Okay? So there's lots of ways to make this sound. So for instance, say butter. Butter. Butter, 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 butter. Butter, 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 butter. right? And if you do it sloppy, it sounds like booty. And if you do it with bass drum, I'm sure it's like double kick bass drum sounds. It's clear? At least up here, maybe? And also, everyone say gubba-da. Gubba-da, 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 gubba-da-ba. Gubba-da, 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 gubba-da-ba. So all those can be bass drum sounds. Gubba-da-ba, gubba-da-ka, gubba-da-ba, gubba-da-ka, gubba-da-ba, gubba-da-ka, gubba-da-ba, gubba-da-ka, gubba-da-ba. Okay, right? Okay, so enough about that sound, okay? And let's move on to things that are much easier. And the easiest sound to make in beatboxing is with doing cymbal sounds, but it's the hardest to do in the flute. So let's just do some cymbal sounds and warm up rhythmically around the room. Everybody go. All right, and what we're going to do right now is we're all going to take a solo, okay? And you can play any note you want, or as many as you want, or as few as you want, all right? But we're going to do it to this time, and when you're done, just make sure that the person next to you knows you're done, okay? So everyone else keep time, and let's see if we can keep time and not speed up or slow down. I'll start, and you'll be next, okay? Okay. so what was the most challenging part about that exercise? Probably going for a second. How many of you, that was the first time you've soloed in front of your colleagues? Just an improv solo. You guys do that pretty regularly? Yeah. Yeah, is that right? All right, cool. That sounded good. Actually, everyone's playing sounded really awesome. I thought that was cool. Any thoughts with doing that to the beatboxing? Anybody? It was cooler? Why? Talk about it. What is cool about that? Yeah, and probably what that is not just the beatboxing, but the fact that you're doing it in front of other people. Yeah. Oh, right, I see. Well, we're going to do more improv stuff as, there'll be other people coming here, maybe? Other instruments or something? Yeah. So, okay, we're going to be doing a lot more of this kind of stuff. So that's cool. All right, now that was a really, really super vanilla simple beat, right? And obviously, it could be a lot more interesting, right? And we can even double tongue the beat. So we can go like, yeah, or even triple cycle. Yeah. Does anyone know the bolero solo on the flute? Anybody? Anybody? You guys study orchestra excerpts? So I'm trying to give you ideas of like, hopefully something you'll come away with this class is how maybe you can use some rhythm sounds on the flute to kind of just like ease up your concerns with getting together with someone, maybe just making music, you know, maybe you don't even need to know what key it's in or anything like this. But let's make a beat that's a little more complicated. We're going to add another sound. So we're going to add this sound. Everybody go. Why don't we just each do one around the room, and I'll start, and then it'll be okay, so. Okay, so there's lots of ways we can make this sound. Right? You can get quite a big difference with vowels and stuff. Beatbox is imitative, so if you're doing beatbox, you want to sound like a snare drum, right? But I first came across the sound imitating like like hillbilly music. You know what I'm saying? You guys know how to do that? Okay, everyone go G. So do that. And then D. And then G again. And then F sharp. So it goes G, D, G, D, F sharp, G, D, G, D, F sharp, G. As long as it's in 4/4, it makes it pretty simple. That's a pretty simple way to add a vamp or a groove to anything, even like. But let's put it as a backbeat with some cymbals, so let's just kick it back to just beatbox. Something like. And it's 1, 1, right? 1, 1. So you feel that that's the backbeat, right? And the downbeat, you can't tell, right? 1, that's the downbeat. Make sense? So why don't we do some more solos around the room, okay? I just want you guys to keep beatboxing. Now, if you want, you can add an A into this. find it. Comments about that? Thoughts about that? You like that? It's kind of hip, right? Yeah, it's super hip. And so imagine, really we're using two voices here, I mean, you and me could do this as a duet, where I just do the band and you solo, and we could switch, right? We could probably get about a solid 45 seconds worth of jamming out of that, before the audience falls asleep, right? But it's just two voices, and you can get quite a bit of mileage with that. Maybe even later on, as the class progresses, we'll split off, and you guys write your own jams. That would be really nice. It depends on how many people come to the next part. Are there any questions about this so far? Okay, it's super clear, right? So I would add, beatbox-wise, the beat is boots, cats, right? So everybody say boots.
Boots.
Cats.
Cats.
Boots. Cats. Boots. Cats. Boots. Cats. And so what we've done is we've replaced the downbeat TS with a beat. So instead of just we go. Here's another one, is barbecue. So that's, which is, right? You guys maybe know about Queen, maybe not. But at any rate, you can even throw those together. So boots, cats, barbecue is. Okay, right, so that's for me like a really simple, basic beatbox riff. And hopefully you'll be able to remember it because they're everyday words, right? And they kind of use those three sounds that we talked about. I wanted to spend a little more time talking about some of the breathing that I do because in order for me to be percussive on the flute, I have to always be breathing. And so I've kind of developed like a hyperventilating style, which is what turns my face really red. Well, that and the screaming with my mouth shut. So I kind of want to talk about that in the guise of a vamp. And so what we're going to do is, well, did anyone, when we were doing how many people found themselves breathing after each one? Like were you going like was that most of your guys' approach? Okay, right. Because you're classically trained flute players, and like we keep the line. That's our job, right? I mean, that's what's up. We take deep breaths, and by golly, we're going to go to the end of the phrase. But if you're just doing repeated looping, sometimes you know, keeping the line like that, it causes a lot of havoc when you try and take a deep breath. And so, actually, for all of those sounds that entire time, both exercises, I took a breath after each sound, so that's. It's not like this one. It's not that breath, right? It's not. It's not that. That's even that right there is a little nuts for me. But it's a very light kind of a chesty, throaty breath. And so we're going to play with that a little bit. And I call it my shuffle breath. And I got it from playing the harmonica back when I was in high school. Anyway, on a harmonica, on one hole, if you blow out or suck in, you get a different tone. So you end up kind of getting this diaphragmatic rocking. Which just sounds pretty cool, I guess, if you just make white noise like that. But I'm going to give you guys a vamp using this breathing so that you can always be doing rhythms and kind of always be breathing. And so this is how it goes. It's ha-taka. Everybody say ha-taka. 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 Okay, so can we do this on an A, like... Feel comfortable? Let's speed up. We can go quite fast. Okay, so let's get that going a bit. Do you guys know the A minor pentatonic scale? You guys know that one? No? Okay, let's learn it right quick. How many notes do you think are in that scale? Hey, that's what's up. It's true. Everybody playing A. A. And a C. And a D. And an E. And a G. And an A. And back down. G. E. C. if you can play the pentatonic scale, you will be rocking with the guitar because it fits into how the guitar works. And so even dummies on the guitar, that's how they jam. All right? Just a little like trick. That's like a little like, put it in your tool belt the next time you're like, you know, at the party and Uncle Bill pulls out the guitar. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Now we're going to use this vamp with this scale. And we're going to go like this. First, it's an A. Wait, it goes A, G, A. Right? Can everyone do that? Right? And then the second one is just A's. So it sounds like this. Right? Okay, now, so we'll play the C, that's where we're going. The second one goes. Do the second one. So it sounds like this. Now you can really whack the note that changes. And I use a lot of CH, try chuckle, ha-chuckle, ha-chuckle. Yeah. C, A, G, A, A, C, and I'll try that overblown K. So you might go hakata, hakata, right? Here, ready? You can add SH, hashaka, hashaka. So it sounds the same, but we're actually playing the downbeat as a rest. It would be. Join in. Ready? And. Okay, so what I would like is if this side of the room could do offbeats, and this side of the room could do on-beats, I have a feeling it would sound pretty cool, all right? And I'd like to see if we can do it. So, does that make sense? So, this side of the room does the original jam, which is... And we're going to do offbeat E's, which goes like this. Person to solo. Okay? You think we could do that? Think we could try? Right? Yes? Okay, so talk amongst yourselves and figure out who's going to do what. Okay? Alright. You guys know what's happening here? Is that just confusing everybody? Okay, good. I thought so too, but we never know. Okay? So what do you want to do? You which one? You what? Which one? Which two are those? You want the offbeat or the onbeat? Offbeat? Onbeat also. Okay, cool. so do we all have it figured out whose parts we're going to do? Now, one thing I haven't talked about is how long we're going to do this for, okay? And so I kind of want us to be able to just jump in and out and engage, okay? So all the offbeat people, I want you to really kind of like keep it going even when it's not your turn, okay? So you guys start, right? Okay? The answer is yes, you guys start. I didn't tell you, but I already reminded you were going to. I'm sorry about that. Okay. The offbeat thing is just ease. There's just ease. So it's... So all the offbeat people, let's get that. Go ahead. So it's... And all the onbeat people go... Onbeat people. Which of you three were going to solo? Go ahead, give a solo. Yeah, you guys got it? Okay, you guys think you can just start it off? Think you can put that together? You got an offbeat part and an onbeat part and a soloist, right? And so in order for it to not like fall apart, you guys have to be really synced up, right? But right after this, we're going to do a ton of rhythm exercises. I can't wait. So I'm like warming you guys up for them right now, okay? Think you can just come in and do it? Hold up. You guys are together. Can you correct it? So why don't you start since you're on the beat, right? It's okay. To make it easier on yourself, you can play an upper E. Something like that. Actually, I don't know if you've noticed yet, but all during class today, I've been playing at like a 3rd grade flute level, pretty much, you know? But I do like a lot of beatboxy stuff, you know? But so I'm really into destroying the flute sound because actually I know how to put together the flute sound if I ever care to. So even if the note is E, if you go down there to like get it to sound, right? But it sounds so cool if you just pop it up, you know what I'm saying? Like, right? You know what I'm saying? Alright, cool. Okay, well, let's hear another trio, Can you guys put it together? Come on, let's try it. Put it together. Go ahead. since we're making everyone do it. See if you can throw it together. I spend a lot of time working with this concept. I mean, this is like a fundamental idiom of some of my basic improvisation, is the idea of shuffling the breath like this. And so I literally take a metronome and just actually zone out quite a bit on it. If you get together with your buddies and do this, you see that you don't need a lot of notes, actually. Just a little bit of a rhythm or some sort of rhythmic vamp actually might go a long way with working with someone. Right? Does that make sense? I know for me, when I first started to try and do improv with people, I ended up around a lot of jazz people. Jazz people were really into all the notes that they had to play with all the chords and everything, and it really turned me off because it seemed like quite a bit to that you had to bring to the table even to begin. But actually, you don't need a lot if you just find a buddy that's willing to play some music, right? And you just pick a tone or something and go from there. Plus, you guys are all in university, so you take theory class. So imagine if you did hachaka in A for a while, and then you went to 5 for a while. Like, whoa, whoa. And if you remember what you're doing, you could almost call that like an exposition or something. And you could go away from there, and then come back, kind of like a recap, or something. And before you know it, maybe you've made like a 2-minute long piece or movement. And I'll tell you what, if you did it at an open mic night, it would kill, first off, because it's not just fluty-tooty stuff or whatever, right? But also people would take it seriously because they will just assume that you guys are taking it seriously. All right, does anyone have any questions before we kind of transition into the next part of class? Because soon we're going to open the doors and non-fluties are going to come in. Yeah. You got a question? No? No questions?
What came first, flute playing or beatboxing?
Flute playing. But I started with Suzuki method at a young age, so I learned to play by ear and was mimicking all the cartoon music and commercials and all that stuff as a kid. But I went to classical school. I went to CIM, which is in Cleveland, studied with the fellow that plays in the orchestra there, named Josh Smith, and he didn't teach me a lick about non-classical stuff. That's all just extracurricular for me. I picked up beatboxing because I moved to San Francisco and didn't have any work, and no one wanted to hear me play the flute. And so I was trying to find ways to get people to want to hear me play. So I started messing around with beatboxing. All right, any more questions? We've still got a few more minutes. Yeah, a little bit of both. I mean, I wear, these are running shoes, so they're automatically I'm definitely feeling it. But I do because I'm breathing so much like that, I kind of do like a full body extension for my breath sometimes to really get the phrase to sound diaphragmatically. And so that's part of the steps in the movement. We always did a thing with our long tones in college where you do and you would switch the weight of your hip when you arrived at the note, so that you would go. It would really feel like you arrived somewhere, right? And so I think doing a lot of that has now, my phrasing when it comes to a conclusion. Plus, we're in the business of being theatrical, so I am more questions? All right, everyone take 5. And move back.
Did it just start? Was it going on there? We had to like lose the thing for